better. I have done better in previous weeks, so I don't know what's going on. So we picked up the story as Crazy Dave burst into a warehouse. Sorry, not Crazy Dave. Loony Dave burst into a warehouse. That appeared to be a small dog. Was that you sneezing at?
That was me coughing.
Ah, right. Okay.
I tried not to cough into there. I thought that was
like a chihuahua.
It was a Ribena cough.
It did sound a lot like a chihuahua. I'm going to edit this bit out in the audio. Thanks, Callum.
I'll try and cough more manly next time. I do apologise. Appreciate
it. Callum,
yeah, you better.
3 weeks ago, I had this working absolutely fine. But it just doesn't seem to be cooperating since I tried to introduce background music for streams that we don't even use background music on. What can you do? I'm going to move over to OBS Streamlabs. I'm going to crack it. All right, so we pick up the story as Loony Dave burst into a warehouse where you guys were. You are, however, all in disguise.
No, some of us were in disguise.
Some of you.
Most of us were in disguise.
Who was not in disguise?
Nicole wasn't.
Nicole was not in disguise. Okay.
Yeah, I was under the impression that I wasn't, but then I looked at my stats and I had modified my stats based on the fact that I was wearing it, so I was wearing it.
If you were wearing it, then yeah. There we go.
So if
you've modified your stats, you are wearing the suit, whatever consequences that may have.
Yes.
Foreshadow. Okay.
I'll take the consequences for the extra stats.
That's every bit the guy I thought you were. Yeah, cool. Loony Dave bursts in, and you five and the Manchester Guardian, Manchester-based superhero who has decided that you are good people and has befriended you, were all there when someone pick up the story because there's going to be a lot of me talking anyway this week.
Sure, yeah. So Loony Dave burst in to the warehouse we had just broke into and searched, following a van with our abducted friend / person we coerced into helping us. And then we were ambushed by spiders. And then we beat them up.
Yes, we killed a lot of spiders. Loony Dave tried to film the thing, but I believe Brian tried to stop him,
and he
successfully stopped him.
He gave us his phone number, but then I subsequently kept the phone of which the phone number was for.
Yeah. So we have his phone, despite the fact that he gave us his phone number to get in contact with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a minor technical detail we will try and resolve later.
I think that'll probably be part of my story arc later, won't it?
Yes, it will. Yep. Well, I mean,
trying to solve that issue.
Before this moment, you are the only person who's actually met Loony Dave before because you were at university with him.
However, I was in disguise. So
you were.
It doesn't matter that I've met him before.
Crucial information.
And I successfully rolled to disguise my voice enough that he wouldn't realise it was me.
It's amazing the things you remember when we play every other week rather than once every 3 months.
It is.
So, the spiders dispatched. Loony Dave had some important plot information. He says, teeing up one of the cast to remind us what it was.
There was...
Adam, would you like to share? It's obviously burnt deep into your core.
He left. That's all I remember.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
Yeah,
be better, Hutton. Be better.
I'm learning literally every tax in the UK at the minute. Give me some credit. I'm having to remember that. And that's literally what I'm learning at the minute. Oh.
Hey, please Don't turn this into a tax seminar. We already only have 4 viewers, and I think 3 of them are watching. 3 of them are on the show, and so even I'd stop watching if you started to make it a tax seminar. Alan,
There's a basement that belongs to the Society underneath the Eden Square shopping centre, of which the Manchester Guardian would like to check out in a week.
and
Once he's healed from all the ridiculous amount of wounds that he got
yeah, he's
during
in bad
that
shape.
battle.
Adam, here's a gimme. Who or what are the Society?
I don't know. Isn't that the big question that we're trying to ask? Trying to answer? I don't know. I don't know.
Don't know. Does anyone else want to jump in with who or what the Society are?
The Society are yes, they are vaguely linked with Evolve Attack, we think. They're a secret-ish society which we've discovered over our investigations that we think are responsible for covering up some form of experiments that they're using a meteor to create super-powered individuals and/or monsters to use against people. Or something along those lines. We're not 100% sure because they're a slightly shady society.
They are very much a secret organisation called the Society, and they appear to be creating supervillains and then giving them jobs. And Nathaniel Lovecraft, played by Charlie, definitely suspects that he was part of that, which is where he may or may not have gained his superpowers from. And he's not sure of the nature of them, beyond giving him enormous strength, and that is that's very much the difference between Nathaniel and the rest of the cast, is that he appears to have got his powers from the Society. I can't quite remember what happened next, Charlie. Did you escape?
I think I escaped. Yeah, with the phone.
The Evolvatech 317. Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Pretty much the only phone model number I recognise now is a fictional one, but there it is. And so, yeah, the Looney Dave saying, look, this organisation called the Society, I think they're behind these supervillains. They own 2 facilities. This warehouse, which is a warehouse where you encountered a being known as Frank, and a facility underneath the Eden Square shopping centre. And he resolved that next weekend you would each head there, and together that you would head there and find out what was going on. And as he left, Roland resolved that maybe they would go on Friday instead of Saturday and beat the Manchester Guardian to the punch. Depending.
Oh, when we encountered Looney Dave as well, I feel it's very important to add that he dropped his tinfoil hat at one point, and I made a big thing of it.
Yes, you did. And,
as though he'd done something horrific.
And yes, you did. The tinfoil hat, which, from what you understand, is to protect you against the mind control rays that Evolvatech use, because they are very much part of either the Illuminati or the world government, and he doesn't know which. Some or all of this may be accurate. And so, the Manchester Guardian is seriously beaten up, and he went to recover. Looney Dave ran away, thought about coming back for his phone, and decided that he probably wasn't going to risk it. I think because of what one of them said about his exposure to mind control rays, because he dropped his tinfoil hat. I think that was the main reason why he wasn't prepared to come back. Much better, much more manly, Adam. Good job.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you.
And at that, I think we're going to jump to our first scene. So, here we go. Nick, and you've had a rough kind of week. What? So obviously you're not pursuing your career with DEFRA. So what are you doing with your time now? What are you doing with your week other than attempting to hide your injuries?
Well, I would assume I'm just out doing general farmhand duties. You know, cleaning stables. That's about all I know farmhands do.
Adam has picked a character that he has deep knowledge about their background.
Like those stables are immaculate. A thing of beauty. And yeah, trying to sort of, while not trying to seem suspicious, which in its own way makes her seem suspicious, trying to hide the fact that she's all beaten up and bruised and kind of stressed out a little bit from her parents.
Okay, I would like you to make me a bluff check.
Okay.
And we will see how good a job of not looking suspicious you do.
21.
21. You manage a pretty good job. That is a pretty decent job of not looking suspicious.
Yeah, strategically placed, accessories and clothes, and being a.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I think it's sort of late winter, maybe very early spring. So being wrapped up is probably not too suspicious.
Yeah, there you go.
On your behalf. Okay. But you haven't had any thought about what you might do for a living. You're very much going to just rely on the bank of mum and dad for the next bit.
Yeah, she's kind of. She's a bit lost in the wind at the minute because she didn't want to give up the job, but she felt she had to. And like I said, it's only been a couple of weeks, if that. So she's just a bit, floating about, just trying to get by for now.
Okay.
Trying not to get killed by giant trees or giant spiders or anything.
Living the dream. Trying not to get killed by giant arachnids. All right. So probably starting, maybe starting Monday night, maybe the first night of the week, you start to get dreams. And these dreams are, first, they're very much of a car park. You find yourself standing in a car park, and you see a shuttered door, and next to it is a keypad. It's an electronic keypad lock, and all you can hear in the back of your head are just a sequence of numbers, and you just 4, 3, 1, 7, 9.
Alan, write it down.
Goodness, is he writing something down?
Look at him. He went for the pen and the paper.
It took me a long time to get to a piece of paper there.
It did. It did.
I mean,
all
I'm just going to remind you, Adam, that you are recording this. You can go back and listen to the recording later.
He's not going to listen back to this.
I mean, the point is, I've already forgotten what the number was. I didn't get to the paper in time.
There was a 4.
I know it started. I'm pretty sure it started with a 4. I'm pretty sure there was a 3 in there somewhere, and a 1 and a 7. We'll go for that, and we'll see how it goes.
I tell you, Adam, for you, and maybe it's just all these years have lowered my expectations. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
4, 3, 1, 7, 9, and those numbers just repeat over.
I mean, I got it 80% right.
You
and
did.
In order.
Yeah.
I'm taking that as a win. That's me.
Like I say,
done.
I'm impressed.
See you in a bit.
4, 3, 1, 7, 9. Those numbers repeat over and over again, and you just sort of, as you wake up, you still have those numbers just kind of running round and round in your head. You spend the day throwing yourself into farming tasks, mucking out the stables, doing other agricultural tasks that you aren't currently aware of as a person, but you are as a character.
Yeah.
There's, I don't know, is it muck spreading season? Who knows? If you're a farmer and you know these things, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. But yeah, you do so. And you kind of spend the day. You get a sense of, you just get also in the back of your mind the feeling of companionship and just sort of joy from Alfie, your dog, with whom, of course, you have an empathic link. Mm-hmm. You find yourself together, and he loves it. He's just sort of always with you wherever you go. He's there, and
cool.
Alfie is, as far as you're aware, he has never been happier because you are just always around, and it's great.
I'll take it. The
second night, as you're falling asleep, even as you're falling asleep, you start to hear 4, 3, 1, 7, 9 again and again, over and over in your mind. My wife has just sent me a message saying I sound a bit like a Dalek. Mm-hmm. I'm going to see if there's any unmuted channels it might be. 1, 2, 3. If you're watching, Donna, I love you. And is that better? Like I said, I did some funny things with the audio, and it's made life just so much more complicated in my little audio mixer. Donna, by the way, would very much like you to know that you should be able to remember numbers because you're an accountant.
That's what computers are for, Donna. Come on. I don't even have to do maths anymore. Calculators exist.
4, 3, 1, 7, 9 just rings again and again as you fall asleep. You find yourself in the same car park, stood in front of the same door with the shutters, and you type the numbers into the pad, and the door lifts slowly up and opens up into blackness. Down into what, sorry?
Is there a light switch?
Not tonight. All you do is you find yourself plunging into that darkness, and that's the last you remember of that dream.
Do I recognise the car park or anything, or is it just
you don't? No.
Generic? Cool.
I mean, car parks are pretty generic.
Yeah. There's no big. Oh, welcome to 123 Obvious Street, or anything. I don't know.
No. Strangely not.
It's not an NCP or anything. It's not got the number anywhere.
Not Google as far as you're aware.
Okay.
The third night, Wednesday, because that's how days of the week work. Again, you've had a pretty tiring day. You've sort of thrown yourself into the work that you've been doing, but even Alfie started to detect that your heart maybe isn't in it, as you realise that this is just compensating for the fact that you don't know what you're going to do, because the dream was to go to London, and you're not doing that anymore. But every time you think about maybe trying something that involves leaving Manchester, once again you get just this vision of the city burning, and you know you can't. This time, you find yourself, you don't even slow down. You approach, type in 4, 3, 1, 7, 9, and you can now see there are stairs down. As you find yourself walking down these stairs, it opens up into a small room with a desk. You can't see any people, but a moment later, and you just start to get this in your head, you get just a layout of this entire facility. Corridors, there are, it would seem, bedrooms. There are, it's this whole kind of facility laid out in your brain, and you start to get this real fixed idea of exactly what it looks like inside. You wake again with a kind of just a sense of significance that something, this this isn't just a weird dream because it's been repeating and it's starting to unfold. At breakfast the next morning, what does Nick have for breakfast?
Muesli. Let's go with muesli.
Okay. As
Again, Nicole is the opposite of the person playing her, and I would never eat muesli.
What's the opposite of muesli? I'm intrigued. What I think
Leftover pizza, which I do have for breakfast.
I mean,
Sometimes.
that absolutely is the opposite of muesli. Well done. I do.
You didn't think it could be done, but
I don't think it'd be done. But well, I thought it might be sausage, but it's not. It's something that isn't even a breakfast food. It's leftover pizza. I'm not saying, viewer, that leftover pizza isn't a magnificent breakfast, because let's face it, it is.
It is. It's the best.
Possibly leftover Chinese is the only superior breakfast.
Have you ever put leftover curry on toast?
No.
That's been like proper enlightenment.
It'll change your life.
Wow.
New ambition unlocked. I mean, I'll be honest. I have tried curry for breakfast once, and it's not for me. But curry on toast, I'm
You didn't put
in
it on
for.
toast, did you?
I didn't. But curry on toast, maybe at lunchtime,
Yeah.
I'm 100% excited about. Anyway, returning to this deep character moment, as you sit down pouring milk on your muesli, both of your parents sit down at the table with you. Roll me a. How does this work in this game? Just roll the dice, and I'll tell you what that is while you're doing that. Because
I'm assuming it's this. Okay.
it's just a D20.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. Let me pull up a character sheet.
Do they
this is-
really weirdly sit down like perfectly in unison at the same time, like
Yeah.
either side?
Very
Yeah.
much. It is. Come on, what's the one where you establish someone's sense motive?
Sense
that's it.
motive, which I get a plus, so I get 18.
Yeah. They are really concerned, and this is all a bit. They've got something they want to tell you or want to talk to you about, but they're not sure how to do it, and they're a bit concerned that you might be upset.
So I just give them a quick, morning, and then I just
You
down to it.
okay, and you're sort of into your thing. So Linda and Andrew, who are your are your parents. There's literally no way you knew that, Adam, but it is true.
I forgot, but I think I did choose those names,
I think you did, yes.
which kind of makes it worse, I think, in some way.
Andrew is, despite the fact that it's a working day, he's sort of not got dressed yet, so he is still wearing his Mansfield Town pyjamas. That's the
Okay.
only character detail that I've got for him. He's a farmer, he's self-employed, and he supports Mansfield Town. They're in League One at this stage.
Is that better or worse than where they are now? I have no idea.
Yes, probably. So,
Yes, probably.
or the same, one of them. He settles down, sits next to you. There is, as I say, this slightly awkward pause. And he says, Linda. And Linda says, No, Andy, you go. And there's a bit more of a pause. And then your dad says, Are you all right, darling?
Yeah.
You? We're a bit worried about you.
Dad, we've had the chat before. I know about boys. We don't need to do this again.
Boys, honestly, at this stage, boys might be a relief. Or girls, just because you were going to go to London, you were going to set up with DEFRA. That was going to be the thing. That was the dream. It was working in politics, and now you just seem to stay at home all the time. When you're not out with your your friends? But it's always the same friends, isn't it? It's always that one group of friends.
I have friends that I spend time with. Yeah. Do you not want me home? I mean, I can leave.
It's just that.
I can go stay with Grandma if you want.
And then the two make eye contact, and your mum gives a really seriously, you have to do it look. And your dad produces a gun. And he places it down on the kitchen table.
I'm going to try and bluff, I've decided.
Okay, right.
Where'd you get that from?
Give me a bluff check.
As in, I've never seen that. What is that?
Yep.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Let me just check. Yeah. No. Yeah.
So your dad puts down the gun and says, "We found this in your room."
What? Where?
And at this point, Linda, your mum kicks in, saying, "Look, I wasn't searching. I was just cleaning, and something caught my eye under your bed, and I thought that looks like a gun, and you had a gun in your bedroom." And then your dad clicks something on the side, and the magazine drops out and says, "It was loaded." The magazine is now empty.
Yeah, I'm going on the offensive now.
Okay.
So why are you looking around my room? I'm a grown woman. I know I'm small, but I am a grown woman.
Yeah, but you don't empty the bins, do you?
That's not on my chore list. You see the star? There's no line.
Yeah, okay. This couldn't be. And then your dad leans over and says, "Nick, this couldn't be less the point. Your mum was in there and found a gun in your bedroom. Why do you have a gun in your bedroom?"
I had never seen that before.
Give me another bluff check.
Okie dokie. Oh, I'm rolling amazing tonight. 24.
Blimey. Your dad, on the other hand, sucks. That's a 5. That's the best roll he's done all evening. You've no idea.
Never seen that before.
They both look enormously relieved. Well, just your friends. Just be careful, okay? I'm not entirely. I know the Lyles have always been family friends, but I don't know if everyone can be trusted. Just be careful, all right? We'll deal with this. And then your dad picks up, takes some kitchen roll and just wraps the gun in it. Just starts to sort of wipe it down and says, "Don't worry, no, I'll deal with this. There'll be no problem."
Can I try and clock where he goes? Does he get up now, or is he?
Yep. He gets up and he says, and he just heads, as far as you can tell, he heads back into the house. If
I can in some way, how I can't think of the right word, but can I give Alfie strict commands and can he give me information back? How?
No, it's very much empathic, the link.
Okay, so I can't be like, go and follow him and then tell me where I can't do that.
No, he's not a remote control dog. He's not your familiar. Okay. He's just you just have an empathic link.
Okay.
He's not a robot or anything.
Do you have a? Yeah, no. The robot dog you had got sad and left.
I mean, is this within work hours, or is this well before work time?
I would say that you've gone to work. This is late morning.
I've gone to work. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have another question then, and it might literally.
Before we do that, do you have any special powers that are relevant to this? Because you have some psychic powers.
I was going to say, can I not use my control object, but not try and force it out, just to link and know where it is? If I can get a link between me and are you saying that just to be nasty? Or?
No, I'm saying you can't control an object.
No, I'm not saying to control it. Oh, okay.
You have lesser mind something or other. What's that?
Oh no, but they have to lesser. Yeah, that's a level 1. I don't know what that does.
Do you have a page reference for it?
Oh, it'll be 365 to 367.
Oh yeah, because they all are. All right.
You don't have a tab there, do you?
I sort of do. EFGHI, lesser bioweapon? No. Lesser body adjustment, lesser mind link.
Yeah.
That's only with a willing subject. So, no, you can't use that. Okay.
But what can I do through it?
I tell you what, we'll do that when we're not on the clock, because I've got 15 minutes to get Charlie seen in as well. So, your dad disappears. You get just a flash in your mind of a moment. You get the idea that he is going to bury it in one of the fields, quite deep, using a hydraulic excavator. That is how he intends to dispose of it.
Okay.
As you look down in your muesli, there appears to be, just shaped in some of the nuts, 4, 3, 1, 7 and 9, just kind of shaped in there. You've written it down, but your camera is... there it is, just about resolving. There you go. That is, listener, viewer, all of the notes Adam has ever made. In any campaign, not just in this one.
Yes, that's not even a joke. Yeah,
it's personal growth, and I'm super impressed. Find out in 2 weeks' time whether or not
How many
he's
campaigns
still
have we
got...
done now?
This is campaign 3. 4 if you count the D&D campaigns.
So.
But crucially, will he find it next time? Maybe not.
My question
Awesome.
is, how many of the rest of us will know that number? Adam won't.
I mean, I've only written it down on a whiteboard, so will I remember it by next time? Who knows?
We might get locked out of that car park.
Yeah.
Because none of us know the password.
Just a glitch in the campaign means that you cannot progress.
Yeah.
At this time, we are going to cut to Charlie, because he's only got 12 minutes till he has to ring into another meeting, so we're going to make this a short one. There we go. Hey, Charlie. So, how is Nathaniel doing? He is, if I remember rightly, in a basement flat underneath his parents' house.
It's very true. He didn't take the adventure very well. Last we had him, he was breathing into a paper bag, so I'm guessing he's still a nervous wreck after his using his powers left. So yeah, for the duration of the past however long.
Yep. So I'm going to assume it's sort of it's maybe middle of the week, and you are you're sort of, you don't look good. You're quite stressed out, and I guess the main source of the fear is that while you know it's important to use your superpowers, you are concerned about whether or not they're having any permanent effect on you.
Yeah, that's exactly that.
Excellent. I mean, not excellent, although a little bit.
Yeah.
Your phone rings, and you see Manchester Guardian on the contact pop up.
Okay. I immediately answer, and just in a panic, like, I've been trying to reach you for the past few days. Where have you been? What have you been doing?
Oh, sorry about that, chum. It's I've not been so good. What with the nearly dying and the spiders and the stuff. How you doing?
Get that. It's just been stressed out. I've been using the powers, and I've been having these dreams of seeing things. I don't know what I'm becoming, and I just need someone to talk to, someone who's like me.
Oh yeah, I think we all go through that at first.
Yeah, but I'm different. Yeah, I was made this way. It wasn't an accident like the rest of them.
Yeah, and he pauses and he says, I think I might have been made as well, but I'm not sure.
Explain.
I think I told your friends. I don't 100% remember life before all of the superhero stuff.
I dropped the phone in panic and then quickly reached down to pick it up again, and I'm like,
hello?
That's exactly the same as me. There's flashbacks to stuff, and I know People recognize me. I can have, brief memories, but everything's. I don't remember much.
I think whatever they do to you messes with your brain a bit.
Clearly.
But I've been using my powers. That's not such a problem. They seem to be. I mean, I get. Do you get tired? I get tired.
Tiredness is only just like the beginning of it. Like, did you not find it funny that we see these, monsters? We fight the monsters, and then it happens to me of all people. The great grandson of Lovecraft himself.
Well, I don't know. I guess if I could remember who I was, maybe I'd have a connection to something. I don't know.
All I know is I'm weirded out by this whole thing, and I don't like. Not that I don't like them, but the whole group just using me to beat up monsters and stuff, and I don't think that's what the society want me to do.
Oh, hey, friend.
Turn me into one of those.
We with all these powers comes a responsibility. If we have to face the monsters, we're gonna need your strength.
What if I turn into one of the monsters on the way? There's.
Oh, hey, like I say, I've been using my powers for some time, and I've not turned into any monsters. Did you find yourself turning into any monsters?
I mean, the strength is new, completely new. Like, I only remember brief flashes from my past life, but this is it's not normal.
No. Well, hey, I got your back. If I notice any changes, I will, if I see you becoming a monster, I'll let you know. But all I see is a stand-up guy who has abilities he could use to help his friends, his city, and his country.
Easy for you to say. You're, the Manchester Guardian, the hero of the. You're on the news. We see you everywhere. But I'm just,
Hey, the difference between you and me is about 3 weeks, I reckon. Oh, I was going to say in the suit, but you've got one of those.
Well, I needed something.
Hey, I'll speak to my benefactor. We don't talk much. But I'll speak to him. I'll ask if there's anything we can do to, to test, make sure you're going to be okay. But hey, I believe in you, friendo. I believe in you.
If anything weird happens to you and you start turning into something that's not you, would you let me know?
Oh, hey, yeah, definitely. You got my back, right?
Sure.
Okay, but the last thing I need to know is, when it comes to this weekend, I'm gonna need you. We don't know what's in there. We might need your strength. Promise me you're not gonna let fear hold you back from all you could be.
I just one time only, and then if I don't know what I'm supposed to do after this, but
okay,
sure,
well,
I'll be there.
We'll take this time and we'll see if there's anything. Hey, if there's anything, any reason to be afraid, you've got me in your corner. We'll be okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Oh, hey, gotta go. Looks like there's a thing. And he hangs up. And you just get a text message that just says, up and away.
Brilliant. I need one of those catchphrases.
So the rest of your week, I guess you're going to be writing. Are you going to testing out your powers, or are you continuing to just try and keep them as far away from you as possible? Or
I might try testing some out and see the limit of what I can do.
okay,
Like lift some cars and that type of stuff.
all right. Yeah. So when are you doing this, and which cars are you lifting?
I think my parents would be pretty rich in my mind. person
Okay.
living with. She's been with for a while, so obviously when they're not around, I'll just start
Okay.
breaking into the
So
garage.
yeah. So you're in there, quite a large double garage. You sort of just sort of as a kind of can I start to lift, and then obviously in your natural self you can't lift a car. No one could lift a car. It's ridiculous. You sort of you feel it just lifting the suspension a little bit, but you can't. You're not really getting much kind of movement. And then as you feel your superpower, you feel your strength kind of ripple through you. There's no physical change, except you just feel enormously strong. And the car lifts, and you scrape the front bumper, on the floor as you lift it, the back above your head, as easy as anything. This is. I mean, it's not light. You're still lifting a car, but it's not hard. You're able to change grip as you lift up, like you would lifting like a heavy suitcase up a set of stairs.
Cool.
And then slowly lower it down, and then for the next kind of for maybe a minute or so, you just feel just hugely strong. Anything you pick up feels feather light, and then it fades. And you have a sort of moment where you're expecting something to happen to your skin, but nothing does. And you're left with maybe just a moment of calm, with like, this is there when I need it. This strength.
Right.
Cool. And with that,
I feel a bit more at peace about that.
good. Nathaniel is maybe a bit more at peace. And with that, Charlie, you have to duck out to your meeting, and Adam, you've got to go and watch your side compete in Europe, because that's the way it goes.
It's not in Europe. We're playing against the Hammers.
Oh, right. Oh, it's a league game.
FA
This
Cup.
season is weird.
It's chaos. It's absolute chaos this year.
Yeah.
But guess who's even less happy about it? Amy, because she has to watch football every 3-4 days. And I love it.
You love the fact that Amy is unhappy.
Yes, I do. Yeah, that's.
Okay, let's not turn this into a relationship problem seminar either. All right.
I'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys. Catch you
See you
catch
guys.
you later. Bye.
Bye.
Apologies. There we go.
And then there was
Awesome. And then there were three, the people without weird reasons to be doing other things. So we're going to cut to the Lyle brothers, I reckon. What are the Lyle brothers up to?
So is this immediately after the incident that happened?
I would say this is probably Monday.
Manny G.
Probably, sorry, who?
Oh, the guy, Manny G.
Hang on, I've got a list of NPCs here, and I don't remember anyone called Manny anything.
Maybe your list is incomplete.
Maybe.
Yeah, my list has a manager in it.
Yeah, I mean that's 2 against 1, I'm afraid.
Alan's notes are so extensive that they have characters who don't even exist on them. That is how
I
impressive
mean,
it is.
I remember a long conversation with Manny G in the last episode, Richard. I mean,
Oh, no, I'm pretty certain
you must be forgetting.
The only NPCs you encountered were Looney Dave and the Manchester Guardian.
Yeah, Manny J.
Say his name.
AKA.
Never known as. So this is Monday. You have made it kind of to your respective homes.
Sure.
The only thing I would ask for the sake of plot is if you would pop round and see your brother Brian at some point.
Yeah, definitely. I'd for sure just come and drop in the next day. Maybe just spend a little time there. Maybe an evening or so, just kind of discussing what is the next step in our lives at the moment.
Okay. So Brian, what's going on?
I'll have been back to the garage to see how stuff's going. Do I get a visit from anybody whilst I'm there? I don't know what the timeline's like when it comes to.
So I would say, so maybe Monday evening, just as you're packing down, and Roland has sort of popped round, and you're cleaning up at the end of this. You hear a knock on the shutters, kind of clang 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 clang, clang 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 clang.
I've already spoken to Roland about this whole thing.
Yeah, we've had that conversation. I'm just sitting in the living room with the scotch, just
You'll be
chilling
at
out.
the. I don't live at the garage.
You don't live in the garage, do you? Okay, yeah. So I'll just be. Yeah, I guess I'll just be in the
You can be
garage.
the office. You can be in the office.
In the office, there may be some
Yeah.
scotch in the office.
All right. Yeah, sure.
Probably.
It's been a long weekend.
I'll look under the desk to see if there's any scotch there. Does my brother keep a bottle of scotch?
Give me a search check.
Yeah, I didn't expect I'd be rolling this soon. All right.
I mean,
Give
the
me
other
1
question
second.
is, do you keep a bottle of scotch in the office, Brian?
Depends on what you roll.
I mean, the roll
Depends
means
what
nothing
you
if there's no scotch there.
Natural 20. You
All
know
right.
precisely there is no scotch.
Okay, so I got a 16 minus 1 is 15.
All right. Brian, tell me about the bottle of whiskey that Roland finds.
You're asking the wrong person to describe any alcohol.
Of the four of us.
Alcoholic
Of the four.
drink.
Alex, tell us about the bottle of whiskey that Brian has got that he keeps.
I mean, is it good quality whiskey? Is it medium quality
I
whiskey?
think that's
Is
for
it
you to
poor
decide
quality
right now,
whiskey?
Alex.
It's a medium. It'll be a medium sort of. I'll drink when it's difficult, like when I've had a hard weekend, rather than a regular.
Okay, hard weekend, medium quality. So I'm imagining a bit fiery, maybe something like an Ardbeg 10-year fiery whiskey, very earthy.
So I'll
of
find
those.
this. I'll find this bottle and I'll be like, oh, not bad. He's getting better.
Okay.
I'll proceed to pour myself a glass.
You pull out presumably the tumbler that he keeps in the drawer.
Sure.
When the knock comes at the shutter, I'll poke my head into the office.
Clang 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 clang.
This is going to be the. Remember, I told you about the McMahons, the gang coming in with the protection racket thing. I think this will be them now.
Interesting.
Well, nobody else will be turning up at this time.
Okay. Answer the
I
door.
don't know what to do.
but-
All right.
Don't let them know I'm here. And I'll reach for my duffel bag, which I brought with me.
Ooh. Mr. Lyle! Clang 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 clang. Mr. Lyle!
Stick my head out the front and yeah, come in, fellas.
You knew it was us.
Well, there's not exactly much business after hours.
Well then, answer the door quicker. You don't recognise this guy. He's maybe a little bit smarter, a little bit better built than the guys who came around last time, and he's there with 3 other guys. I'm just gonna. And these guys are kind of they're all wearing sort of jeans and hoodies. They all look. They're kind of doing their level best to look intimidating. The guy sort of lets himself in and says, "So I understand you're on the insurance scheme."
Apparently so. You're not ones to give much of a choice, are you?
Are you alone?
Yeah, all my other staff have gone home.
Give me a bluff check.
It's true. All my other staff have gone
I
home.
caught the fact that what you said was true.
Where is? Oh, great.
He says,
Yeah.
"So there's no one else here."
All my staff have gone. Like, as I said, we're after hours.
This is... And he turns to one of the guys and says, "This is very disappointing, isn't it, Kyle?" And the guy who presumably is called Kyle says, "He didn't ought to lie to you like that, boss. He didn't ought to lie to you. You've been polite. You've been straightforward. He's trying to hide something." The guy steps forward again and says, "Look,
Trying to hide nothing. I'll give you the money and you get out. This is the deal. Like, if I pay you the money, you're not to bother me. If you bother me, then the deal's off.
oh,
So shut your mouths, and I'll get the money."
wowzers. Okay, Brian, give me an whatever it is, intimidation check. Is that a thing?
I think it is. Yeah, it
It
is.
is.
Yep.
Still a 0 modifier.
Give me an intimidation check.
11. 11.
He turns and says, "You told me this guy was straight up. He seems to have maybe a bit more spirit than you let on Kyle. Wait, you should be very, very aware that you don't make the rules here. We do."
It's at this point I will step out of the office
Okay.
with my disguise hood up,
Yep.
and I'll say, "He's not the only one that should be concerned."
Give me an intimidation check, but give yourself +4 because that's badass.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 3.
Okay. So,
So
as
that's with the +4. That's
Yep.
7.
okay. So as you step out, you go, "He's not the only one who should be concerned." And the 4 guys turn, and one of them just starts laughing and says, "Who are you supposed to be? Hey, Lyle, have you hired a comedian to entertain us before you pay?"
I will
That's
speak
sensible.
up and say, "There'll be no payment tonight."
Oh, that's not clever. That's not clever, is it, boss? The guy steps and says, he speak for you? This clown is
Well, if you're going to bother me and not stick to your side of the bargain, then why should I stick to my side of the bargain? So, yeah, maybe he is right.
"Oh, I'm bothering you, am I?" And he pulls out a gun and levels it at your face.
How far away are they?
So they are, well within your single move speed because you are ridiculously fast.
I will ignore the gun and just calmly walk up to the guy who's pointing it.
Okay. As you start to approach, he turns and points the gun at you. And he says, I don't think you want to do this. Maybe back down and we might be able to let this slide with only a light beating."
How far is he now?
So you've been slowly walking towards him all this time? Is your intention to get to the point where you can, with a movement, attempt to disarm him?
No, I kind of just need 15 feet.
Okay. Let's say you are within 15 feet of him now.
Okay, I will
I mean,
say...
I don't imagine a garage is much bigger than that anyway.
Yeah,
Sure,
this
yeah.
is a relatively tight... I mean, it's,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Like,
I will say to him, "This is your last chance. You can leave now, or things will get ugly."
Each of the thugs pull out a knife. The guy does that thing that people do when they're being intimidated, was just pull back the hammer with his thumb, which actually when you pull the trigger it does it anyway, but it looks intimidating. Click. He says, "Who's threatening who here?"
I will sigh and say, "Fair enough," and then I will do cone of fire in
Okay.
his face.
As you start moving, we're going to roll for initiative.
Hell yeah.
you've got a very smug look on your face, George, like you've rolled very high.
Let's say for the sake of speed, 10 or more. Who's got 10 or more initiative?
24.
Fast characters are so fast.
Yeah.
What's Brian got?
Also, the improved initiative
I
feat
got
is
7.
real good.
Ooh.
Yes,
Ooh.
of course.
I got 17.
Okay, so Roland and Brian, you react faster than the thugs to this action.
The good lord.
So, just to paint a bit of a picture, we have maybe 10 feet between this guy with a gun and Brian, but he's turned to face sort of diagonally at Roland, who is now within 15 feet of him. There is sort of arrayed behind him are the 4 tough guys who are just sort of there looking tough. They've produced each a knife as a sort of final act of
within
theatrics.
15 feet of each other?
They are not. They are. I would say there's 10 feet between each of them. But
Cool. So am I just getting the guy with the gun?
if you're doing cone of fire, yes.
So it's a 15-foot cone, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's 15-foot
Sure.
cone is
So-
in fact what you do is you step forward because it's
Yeah.
it's 3 squares in a line in front of you
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
because it's a
cool.
15-foot cone, not a cone that is 15 feet long.
Right. Understood. Good
But
clarification.
you only catch this guy in it, but you step forward
That's
and
fine.
you open up with fire in his
Yeah,
face.
I'm using the level 2 as well. So
Ooh,
the high
okay.
one.
Yep. Excellent.
That's 6 damage if he doesn't.
Have you got a page reference for that?
No, I think it's something you made up.
I believe it's a dexterity saving throw.
That sounds like a thing I do. Is try to just
Yeah.
build up.
It's a dexterity saving throw.
Hang on. Are you talking cone of fire or are you talking burning hands? Because there's burning hands and you've got flaming hands. Your burning hands is the thing where you touch your hands together and there is a cone of flame in front of
Ah,
you.
that's the one. Yeah, that's the only one I have. Because I've
Yes.
got 2 superpowers. I can set my fists on fire and then I can do that.
Yep. That's
So that's
it.
the one I'm doing.
All right. So I'm pretty
I
sure that's
believe it
under
is.
FX abilities
Okay.
as a spell.
I believe it's 2d4 damage.
I think it's
But that might be
2d4 damage, and I don't think there's anything he can do about it. But let me just check. Is it a divine spell? I don't think it is. I think it's an arcane spell. But
Is it from 5th Ed that you've taken it?
If it was
it's
from
not.
fifth,
No,
then it
it's
would be
from
like 20 damage.
Okay, that's fine.
it's
I
no.
was
It's
gonna
a
say,
legit
it-
thing here.
Very similar to
No, there's
burning hands in there.
yeah. So it's a first level mage spell, and
Casting it at 2nd level though.
but you're casting it at 2nd level, so it's 1d4 per level, and yeah, I
rolled
think
2 threes.
2 3s. Let's see. Burning hands. Here we go. Nope. This is very much before Wizards of the Coast invented saving throws for spells. So he just as fire erupts from your hands, his face is engulfed in it, and he takes 6 points of damage.
Great. And I'll use the rest of my turn to complete my movement to be adjacent to him.
Okay, yeah. So you rush forward, and just fire erupts in his face.
Great.
Cool. Brian.
Seeing my brother burn the fella in front of me, see the other guys pull out knives, I fire a water jet at Kyle, because screw that guy.
Because screw Kyle.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, him and his like chippy chap. Like, oh yeah, I'm so tough.
Use proper English, Kyle.
You didn't ought to. Is that the thing you're really objecting to?
Go back to school.
I can't
Eject.
remember how this works.
You make a ranged attack, and then it does damage. That's what I can remember.
11. I rolled an 11.
So you are +3 for your attack bonus is 14.
Oh yeah, so no, I rolled 8 plus the 3 attack bonus.
Oh right, okay.
1 11.
Um,
Sorry.
Yeah. While you shoot Kyle kind of sees it coming. There is very much a look on his face that says, I can't believe this is happening. But he manages to dodge out of the way. Cross off one use of a water jet.
Shame.
And now the thug's turn. The guy who is very much sort of just face covered in burns now pulls the trigger and attempts to shoot you, but it's -4 because he's in contact with you, so I'm pretty sure he's going to miss.
Does that also
yeah.
provoke an attack of opportunity? Ranged attack in close contact.
Oh yeah, range attack in melee.
I mean, it does in 5th
well,
ed, doesn't it? I'm not sure whether it does.
No, I don't think it does in 5th ed. I think in 5th ed it's just a disadvantage to the shot. But I feel like in D20 modern it would do.
131 and 135. Let's see if we can find it quickly enough. Yeah. So yes, there's two reasons to provoke an attack of opportunity: when you leave a threatened square, or if you do something that means you're no longer protecting yourself. And I would say attempting to shoot someone with a gun is pretty much that. Make an attack of opportunity.
Sure, I only got a 10 for that.
Okay, yeah, no, so that is not enough to hurt our tough guy. However, he misses. There is an ear-splitting sound. Setting a gun off in this quite small environment makes a loud bang sound. Kyle steps forward and closes the distance between him and Brian and stabs at him with a knife. Brian, what's your defense?
That'll be 20.
Brian.
Oh, sorry.
I wish it was 20.
Yeah, it ain't 20.
It'd be 12. Sorry, I need to take. I'm not wearing the suit because I'm at work. As in, I've not planned.
Yeah,
for this.
you don't close up the office dressed as a superhero. That's not a thing that happens.
So 12.
All right. So he does 1d4 damage with his knife. That is 2 points of damage as he stabs you.
Great.
Thug number 2 rushes towards Roland, and that is your defense is still 20, isn't it? Yeah,
Correct.
that's no good. And that natural 1 is also no good, as the 2 non-Kyle thugs round on you and attempt to stab you, but you are just able to dodge out of the way with your lightning first reflexes. Roland, top of the round.
Great, so I've got 3 now in front of me.
Yeah, you now have 3 in front of you.
Great.
Kind of in a line, yeah.
Can I get all of them with
Yeah.
Burning Hands?
Yes, if you've got... So I think it'll cost you a...
I think I can do a level 1 for free.
So you
Without-
have... So what level are you?
So I'm level 3.
Yeah, so you've done a level 2 power, so you can do
level
another
2. I've
level
got a
1
level
power.
1, or I have to spend.
Or you have to
actions.
spend.
I will. I will do a. I will not do either, and instead I will just hit the guy that is with the gun.
Okay, yep.
And I will fight defensively for +2 to my defense, -4
Okay.
to my attack.
Because 20 is not enough, is it?
Sure. So that is a 13 to hit.
That is not enough to hit. So as you kind
Not
of
a hit.
as you step
Okay,
back,
Interesting.
as you swing, you
All right.
miss. He kind of steps back, taking a 5-foot step back.
Sure.
Actually, no, he doesn't, because it's Brian's turn. Assuming that's everything you want to do with your turn is
Yes, that is.
Brian.
I want to. Water sphere pile
Okay.
because he stabbed me.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the. So I've got the number of rounds. It's a strength check to escape. So I think it
Yep.
automatically works.
Yep. It's a
And then the
DC
damage.
14 strength check to attempt to escape from the water
Correct.
sphere. It doesn't do any damage in and of itself, but it does do.
It does 1d4 on my turn.
Yes. Which this is.
So 1d4. Ooh, 4.
All right. You summon a sphere of water out of nowhere, and Kyle's face is a picture. It's a picture, a slightly refracted picture, as the surface of the water bends the light. As he goes, and he lets out all of the air in his lungs in surprise, which is a bad move given he is now in a load of water. And he starts to cough and splutter and takes 4 points of damage.
And I rolled a 6 on my 1d6, so it's 1d6 plus level. So is that 9 rounds?
That's 9 rounds, I think. Is that right?
I
think it's the level of the spell, but it's a
which would
level
be a
3
level
ability,
2.
so
Is it? Is it
it's
not
what
level
you've got.
2?
You've got level 3 written by it. Does that mean you need to use an action point to use it?
Yes. But
cool.
freeze water's only level 1. Okay, cool.
Cool. So yeah, you summon a water sphere, and it'll exist for 9 rounds. The thugs. Yep.
I want to.
Sorry.
Back.
You then take a step
Range
back,
of-
but of course you're not
Yeah.
hugely threatened by Kyle because he's not stabbing anybody this time.
Good.
The kind of the tough guy, the leader, takes a step back and kind of just takes a moment to gather himself. The 2 thugs step, so they are now flanking you. They're now either side of you, Roland, both getting a +4, although they're at -2, so they're only at +2. So that is... yeah, we're actually going to catch you with 1.
My defense is 22 at the moment.
Yep, and that's 16 plus 3 plus 4.
Fair enough.
One of them stabs you,
Great.
doing 3 points of damage.
Good to know. Good to know.
That is the end of turn 1, Roland.
Okay. Oof. Okay. Right, we're in trouble now.
You don't get hurt very often, do you?
No. I will. Is it an action to take a 5-foot step?
No, I don't think so. I think that's a 5e thing.
But so I can use my movement to take a 5-foot step towards the guy that 5-foot step backed from me.
That's an interesting question because can you evade both? I suppose they're in still controlled squares.
Sure.
Let's. Apologies, viewer. We've not played for a while, very often, so we will be mostly looking stuff up. Not even. Well, there aren't any numbers, so where would 5-foot step be? Movement in combat. Let's see if it's in there. So. It's definitely mentioned a 5-foot step. Move actions, movement. Right, it's a move action, a 5-foot step. So you can. I'm trying to find the specific rule on it. So, no. A 5-foot step does not give you an attack of opportunity. So you can step forward away from these two
And
guys.
so I can 5-foot step towards the guy that stepped away from me and attack him in the same turn.
Yes, you can.
That's what we're saying. Great. I will do just that then.
Okay.
And I will again fight defensively.
Yep.
This time for a 16 to hit.
You hit him.
Great. That is 4 points of damage to him.
You clock him across the jaw, and he once again reels back. He looks like he didn't enjoy that at all.
Great.
Brian. Kyle didn't get an attempt to step out of his sphere, did he? Never mind. I've gone off Kyle.
He has negative plot armor.
Yeah, he has whatever the opposite of plot armor. That's what he's got.
It's like the red-shirted guy in Star Trek.
Yes.
Yeah, he has a wet red shirt on.
I wanted to do my freeze thing,
Do it.
but I'm also acutely aware that I don't particularly want dead bodies in my garage.
That's a thing. Yep.
I was about to do it, and I was like, wait, then I'm gonna have a frozen dead guy, and I don't know what to do with him. Oh man.
Maybe you won't kill him when you freeze the ice around him. That might not happen.
Well, I'm willing to find out. Let's freeze them.
Excellent. Okay,
Freeze a
so
sphere of water.
you freeze the sphere of water that surrounds Kyle.
And that does 2d6 damage.
It does 2d6 damage.
Which is 7.
Okay. Yeah, you see the crystals form, and you hear "Roar!" as you do 7 points of damage to Kyle. He collapses to the floor, wheezing and gasping, as obviously while the water around him is frozen, it shatters as he moves, and he is suddenly gasping for breath. He doesn't look so good. Cool. All right. So we're going to start with the guy who Roland has been just sort of continually approaching. Takes another step back and levels the gun at Roland and fires. And it doesn't go off. He's got something wrong, and it just doesn't fire because that's a natural 1. You're so lucky.
Maybe it got a bit burnt in the
Maybe something something has gone wrong in the mechanism.
like warped in the mechanism or something.
Maybe I don't think. Yeah, let's not worry about it. Either way, it doesn't go off. There's a click and nothing else. The 2 other thugs once again close in on you. 1 hits, or 1 does not. So that is a further 2 points of damage. How close to dropping unconscious are you from these knife wounds?
I'm on 7.
Okay. Get you in the
Health
end.
on 7.
Excellent. So Kyle kind of drops to his knees. He doesn't manage anything else this turn. He just sort of wheezes and shivers. Roland.
Okay. I'll do the same again. 5-foot step towards the dude.
Step forward.
And
Punch.
hit him fighting defensively. That is a 17 this time.
Yeah, okay. Roll for damage.
Great. And that is a 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. You catch him in the guts. As he's still kind of looking at his gun, you just sucker punch him in the guts, and he doubles over in pain.
Great.
Cool. Brian.
That is me.
How far am I away from the two thugs that keep on attacking Roland?
You could tackle one or the other of those easily enough.
Could I attack one and also say something?
Yeah, as long as it's cool.
As long as it's. All right, I want to crack the. I assume one of them has their back to me.
Yeah.
Crack them in the back of the head.
Yep.
And basically just. I'm gonna shout. I suggest you guys just go and don't come back. You didn't hold up your end of the bargain. It's off. Whatever you thought you had, you don't have. Get out.
Okay. I would like you to make an intimidation check. This isn't your action, but let's see how effective that is.
13.
Okay, yep, fair enough. And then, as you say, I suggest you get out and you don't come back. The deal is off. You make contact potentially with the back of this guy's head. Let's give me a...
Not with this. Oh, it's a 10.
Is he
not with
flanking technically?
I
Well, you
think...
stepped- I thought you were, but you stepped forward out of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You slightly
fair
misjudge it,
Yeah.
and you... I think I'd give you some sort of advantage because he's just not facing you or expecting it. But you slightly misjudge it, and you make contact instead with one of his shoulder blades, and it kind of hurts, somewhat taking the wind out of your otherwise intimidating sails. And the bloke goes, "What?" and turns round. That bloke slashes at you with a knife. What's your defence?
Still 12.
It's still 12. I still can't remember it, but it's 12. Yeah, he slashes, but you are equal to it. Something in you manages to just block his wrist. So as he kind of slashes down, it's not a very elegant attack, and you see it coming because he turns around and delivers it, and you manage to block it. The other one is going to attempt to attack Roland, but fails. Your man with the gun just sort of attempts to pistol whip Brian, and that fell out of the dice tray. And he doesn't manage it either, because these guys suck. There is a pause. Unless, Roland, you're going to continue to just beat on this guy.
I will use my last... Okay, I want to use my last level spell
Yeah.
to do Cone of Fire, but not to do any damage. I want to kind of just do
just kinda like-
majestic display of
Okay.
fire kind of like emanating around me.
As you
And
do
I
that,
will-
you see that everyone's just morale breaks. They're like, "This is not what we signed up for," and the kind of the leader says, as he flinches away from the fire, "We're gonna be back," and he says, "Come on," and grabs one of the guys by the back of his collar and just yanks him out. The other guy helps Kyle out as you stand there, just kind of like with this arc of fire between you.
As they're running away, I'm going to shout out to them, "Tell your boss this city's changing. He's not in charge anymore."
Amazing.
Yeah.
I would like you both to roll a sense motive check, please.
Great. Big 8 from Roland.
Okay.
Sense motive. Ooh. Oh. I get.
Big roll, big
No,
negative.
No, other way round. I have a big
Oh, no.
plus. I just have a rubbish roll. I
Oh,
rolled a
no.
3, but I get +6, so I got 9.
So you both got 9. You're both not
I got
entirely sure. Oh, sorry, you got 8. Oh, you're both not entirely sure whether or not they're coming back. You're not sure. It's not. Was it just a sort of hollow threat, or is it a plan, and you don't know? The garage falls quiet for a minute.
I breathe out heavily and just sort of sit down on the floor.
I'll turn to Brian and say, Oh, didn't that just feel great? As I kind of like put pressure on my stab wound in my stomach.
I laugh nervously and I'm like, this is too close to home right now. This is my livelihood. I have men who work for me here who this can't harm them. Like, this is too close to home right now. I'm just sort of exasperated at the situation, even though it sort of feels like a hollow victory, because I don't know if they'll come back. As much as it's nice to not have given them money, it'd be good to take them down ultimately. But right now, it feels just a bit too raw to be to celebrate.
Yeah.
I do have a second glass somewhere in the office. Let's go have a sit down.
You find, after a bit of a search, you find an old promotional glass with kind of sandblast etched in some brand of I don't know, of shock absorbers. What do mechanics use? I should be clear. I do know about some stuff, just not, any of the stuff that's relevant to this story, apparently. So you find a second glass. It's a sort of tall, thin, more like a Collins glass than a whiskey glass, but
Sure.
needs must. And the two of you drink whiskey, and your nerves calm down. At which point, we're finally going to cut to Alex, who's been sitting patiently, only offering us whiskey-based advice. But
Oh, and occasional Manchester United-based quips.
oh yeah, absolutely. But you're a City fan, so you can't help it. It's fine.
I know it's a natural response for me. Whilst you were doing Adam's story as well, I did notice. I did look up the fact that Mansfield Town are actually currently playing.
Oh
And
right.
were during his.
And how are they getting on?
They're currently drawing 1-1. When you first mentioned them, they were losing 1-1. So 1-0. So they have
Come on.
improved a little bit over the period of time that we've been playing.
Come on, the town, says Andrew to no one in particular. Okay.
I
Awesome.
feel like I may have a new League 2 team.
There you go. So they're in League 2 now. By 2035, they are in League 1. So, it was a wild ride up to the Premier League and a brief season in Europe before it all went wrong again. That's what happened to Mansfield Town in the last 15 years. Just, one of those billionaire owners who invested it thinking that it was an easy thing to do, and they got it all wrong. Overspent, and they sold it, and the fans bought it out. I'm making up the story. Why can't I have a utopia with fan-owned clubs? So, what is Freddie? What's kind of Freddie up to the day after the raid on the warehouse? Manchester Guardian, Looney Dave, all of that.
Well, I had almost no injuries at all.
You only have two sorts of combat encounters.
The entire thing.
Yeah, Freddy has two sorts of combat encounters. The one where he nearly bleeds out, and the one where he doesn't get hurt at all.
Yeah. Despite basically just spending the entire time running at people with poles.
Yep.
I somehow managed to only take 1 hit point of damage.
I think you were at no point the biggest threat anyone faced. I think that's what was going on.
Yeah. So I'm pretty okay. I just wake up, be like, yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good.
All right. The fact that you don't get hurt means that you're not entirely phased.
Yeah. It was weekend, wasn't it? So we're
It was.
about Monday now, aren't we?
We are.
So I'd probably go to work Monday morning. Spend a day at work. Not particularly bothered about the weekend's work. The weekend's activities. I've kind of gotten a bit used to it by now. We've done a few of these events.
Okay. So Monday evening. Looney Dave's phone in your pocket rings.
Does
it
it
is the
show
X-Files theme.
does it
It
show
rings.
like who's calling? On the front of
It says withheld number.
I think for a second and decide to answer it in the same kind of a slightly different accent that I nailed last time.
Okay.
To persuade Looney Dave that it wasn't me.
Roll me another bluff check to see how good a job you do of disguising your voice.
I'm trying to use the same accent that I did last time.
Yep.
So I feel like
He's justifying a low roll here.
I've not rolled yet, but
Okay.
I'm preemptively justifying a low roll. 10.
10. You don't do as good a job, I think it's fair to say.
I don't do as good a job. Okay.
So he says, hello, superhero? You recognise it is Looney Dave's voice. You've got my phone?
I do.
Can I have it back?
And you dropped your hat.
I did? Yeah, I've made a new one. It's fine.
You're exposed now.
Look, I just want my phone back.
I know where you. Wait a second. Do I know where Looney Dave lives?
Not a clue. He's only ever met you in pre-arranged rendezvous.
How would I normally get a hold of him?
I don't think you've established him normally. So you've read his blog a fair bit, but
wasn't it through like email or something?
it was, if I remember rightly, it was an online chat server that you got in touch with him.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I just state his username on the online chat that I got in touch with him first time round.
He says,
"You've been exposed." I say,
"Freddy?"
I bluff again.
Go for it.
Uh, 14 this time.
He
Freddy?
says,
Who's?
"Oh, I could have sworn you sounded like my friend Freddy."
No.
Look, I just need my phone back. Is that? Can we do that?
Then why would I risk meeting up with you to hand you back your phone?
Hey, I don't want to meet up with you. You guys are like superheroes. You're dangerous. Bad stuff happens. Look, all I've done is I've given you the address of the society's hideout. I just want my phone back. Look, you've got my
Why
chat.
are you saying these things over the phone?
You've got my chat user.
Embrace this.
Yeah, not the way I'm calling, he says with just supreme confidence. Look, you've got my chat server. Just
You dropped the hat.
I did. I've made a new one. I'm clear. Again, enormous confidence. He says, just send me via the chat where you're going to leave the phone. I need my phone back, man. Come on. You guys are superheroes, not supervillains, right?
I think for a minute. Okay, I will send you a message as I just create a new user on the chat forum while I'm speaking to him, and I tell him the username that as it's going in.
Yeah,
I say
I got it. Cool. And just one other thing, you haven't got the Manchester Guardian's phone number, do you? He's so cool.
Why would I give you the Manchester Guardian's phone number?
Just want to text him, man. It's just he's a legit superhero.
No, I'm not giving you the Manchester Guardian's phone.
All right. Can't blame a guy for asking, right? Hello?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Right, I got your message. I'll give you like an hour so you'll be clear. We won't be seen together.
Goodbye.
And you hang up
I just hang up.
on a weirded out Looney Dave. Somewhere in a small flat, Looney Dave just kind of goes, it's real, it's all real.
We went to university together, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do I know anything about his past? Like any detail that I could just use to pick up to freak him out? Like
yeah,
maybe
you'll
in his
probably
parents' house or something. Like I'm trying to think of the best way to weird him out with it, where I drop the phone off.
I would say you probably you could use one of the society rooms that a society he was involved in at university, the Truth Seeker Society. Yeah. They have a particular meeting room that only they used because it was rubbish, and you arranged to leave it there.
Yeah. Okay. I arranged to leave it there, and
all right.
And then just in the text app say meeting room of the Truth Seeker Society. You know where it is.
He sends back a message that just says, "Thanks." And there's a really long pause, maybe like 5 minutes, and then another one that just says, "How do you? Never mind. Thanks." And the chat disconnects.
And I respond. I respond underneath with "You dropped the hat!" exclamation mark.
All right.
Don't drop the hat.
As you get home, and as you settle down for the night. You notice that Nick is... In fact, roll me a sense motive check.
Good roll and a good modifier. 19.
Yeah, you sense that Nick is really out of sorts. Something... It's not just what's been going on over the weekend or so. There's something really troubling her. You also get the sense that her mum and dad are really worried. Just they don't say anything to you, but just like when you're passing and Nick says something and they give each other a look, they're really worried about her. You settle down for the night.
Okay.
And you once again have this kind of vertigo-inducing, dizzying dream of you find yourself in the centre of an enormous machine. Wheels turn, cogs turn, unsupported sections that seem to be interacting, perhaps twinned on a cosmic or a quantum level, are spinning round with other pieces moving interchangeably. Glowing sections flow. This machine seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you get the sense that it's reaching out as something else is reaching out to it. And you wake up in a cold sweat to find the spider drone just on your bed with its gun just sweeping to and fro across the door and to the window and back.
Okay, do I have control of the spider drone?
Give me a will save.
Will save.
Yep.
Where is will?
It's
there.
in.
I've spotted it.
Cool.
13?
Yeah, as you kind of come through and you notice the drone, You form a link with it. You feel like it's kind of like an electronic interface, and you manage to connect. And it moves from
Okay.
this patrol mode, and you're now in control of it.
Okay. Can I dismiss it?
Yeah.
Like
Um,
go and
So a moment later, you kind of
or
you
alternatively, can I try and figure out why it's there? If I've got this link with it.
give me a computer use check.
Computer use. Oh, that's a very high modifier.
Nerd.
And a low roll, but a very high modifier. 13 again.
13. You could, as you sort of through this neural interface you seem to have with the unit, you check through its history, and all you can see is the kind of first entry in its log, which appears to be the moment it appeared. All that you see is bridging device guard, and then sentry mode, and then a series of logs that's to do with and all the movement. It seems to be detecting no movement in its kind of front arc, but you see entries about other things shifting in electrostatic space recorded in it in very kind of matter-of-fact terms. But they aren't hidden or encrypted, they're simply there for you to read as you have this neural link. And then a moment later, it's gone. And you wake up the next morning and you're not entirely sure whether that was real or whether it was a dream.
Okay.
And
I'm going with either way. It has about the same level of significance for me.
And I think that is where we will call it, gents.
Yeah.
Thanks for sticking around.
Oof. That was good.
It was good fun.
Lava dream sequence.
I'm not going to lie, I had the most fun with trying to freak Looney Dave out.
Yeah, you didn't hide that. All right, viewer.
It was my plan all along. I was planning on going to try and get in contact with him and try and freak him out exactly that way that evening. But he called me, which was perfect.
There you go. Well, you were going to struggle to call him because you don't have a phone.
No, I was going to try and get in touch with him on, say, the chat server,
Ah,
for
right.
instance, or whatever way that I'd gotten in contact with him in the past, as an anonymous user or something like that.
It's possible.
Just to weird him out that
Yeah.
I didn't need his phone to get in contact with him, and I was going to make it all about the fact that he dropped the hat.
Okay, cool. She'll make note of consequences of that. Well, thanks so much, guys. Thank you, viewer, if you stuck around. I say in the singular, that's a broadcasting convention, and not because there's only one of you, because allegedly there's three. Although whether or not they are those three, I don't know. But if you're watching this, thank you for sticking around. If you're watching on YouTube, at least one person watched on YouTube, which is quite exciting. Thanks for joining us. We will be polishing this up the tiniest amount and putting it back on YouTube there to be archived. We will also exist, of course, as a podcast available on good, neutral and evil podcast platforms of the D20 Future Show. You can reach out and get in touch with us at D20 Future Show as well. But for now, I've been your host and your GM, Richard, and this has been Alad.
Hey.
This has been Alex.
Bye.
This has been George. The other two cast members have had to go because of real life. Boo. You have been awesome. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you next time on the D20 Future Show.